Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis. First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning and God bless. Happy Monday. I'm Dominique DiPrima. This show is called First Things First. My first thing today and every day, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's get to it. Let's get to it. Okay? We got a lot to talk about as usual. The way the show goes, hour one, I usually look local, what's happening on the West Coast. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour of the day, we do a deep dive with a person of interest, a hot topic, that kind of thing. Today, we're pretty much on point and on schedule. It's a Monday, so that means we're doing Mindful Monday. We will get ourselves together, get our intentions right, have a guided meditation with the one and only Sahara Ali. That's coming up at the top of the second hour. And in hour three, we will talk, it's not a Talking Point Tuesday, but I feel like every day is a Talking Point Tuesday, especially the Monday after January 6th, when the spin and propaganda is flying everywhere. We will get a little bit into that. We have one of our Republican colleagues joining us in hour three, and I'm hoping that she will be with us for the first half of hour three. I'm hoping that you'll have some clapbacks and analysis in the second half of that hour. So it's a great day for engagement and participation. I'm really happy to have with me on today the president and CEO of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference of Southern California. He's co-pastor of Christ Liberation Ministries in Los Angeles, where he serves with his wife. And I am talking about Pastor William Smart. Good morning.
Good morning, my sister. How are you doing today?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm blessed, highly favored, and great to be on the show with you today.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. This is a busy, busy, busy time for SCLC of Southern California or anywhere, because we're ramping up to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And of course, for those who failed history, Dr. Martin Luther King was, a big part of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference.
Yes, ma'am. He founded it with several others, but he was the first president of it. And he helped guide it until 1968. And we pay homage to him every day because it's his brand, it's his creation, and we are patterning our work after him. And so I'm honored. It is the most honorable thing I've done in my life to be the president of his local organization, Sister DiPrima.
Well, And you guys have a lot going on. Of course, one of the big influencers, I don't think that was a thing at the time, but influences upon Dr. King and many, many others in the movement is Reverend James Lawson, who was the pastor of Holman United Methodist Church here in Los Angeles, and continues to guide generations of leaders.
Yes.
and you guys are unveiling something special for him this year in the space of your annual awards, but also in the spirit of Dr. King's birthday.
Yes, ma'am. At our 54th annual gala that is going to take place next Sunday at 6 o'clock at the LAX Sheraton Gateway Hotel, we will be unveiling the first annual James M. Dorothy Lawson Transformative Resistance Award, and that award goes to Dr. Mark and Avis Ridley Thomas.
Transformative Resistance Award. Now, I got the opportunity to speak with Reverend Lawson, and we'll be playing that. Actually, you'll hear that that interview, that conversation on Thursday, because Thursday is the day that they will be presenting or unveiling Reverend Lawson Way, which is a stretch of Adams near Holman United Methodist Church. But one of the things that he said is in the interview, if I can give you a sneak preview, is that typically when an award is named in someone's honor, the inaugural award goes to them, right? If they're still around. But
Right.
that's not what he wanted.
Exactly. The family definitely didn't want that to happen. They wanted Mark and Avis to get this award. They were very adamant about it, and I wanted him to get it, but I respected it because, number one, it was coming from his and the family's desire and wishes, and number two, because Mark and Avis are honored, and they deserve it too. They deserve to have an award, Transformative Resistance Award, to be given to them, the first annual. James Lawson, that's something big.
Yeah, I found it great because it's so Reverend Lawson. He's going to take
Yes.
his inaugural award and turn it into an act of resistance. He's not just going to
Yeah.
sit there and say, "Oh, let me get this award." He's going to say, "How can I make the actual existence of this award an act of resistance?"
Yes, yes. He really, this took place in October. The discussions about this, and he was so adamant. I don't want to, pull from what he's going to say, but he was just so adamant about it, and the reasoning and what has happened with Mark and Avis, that they were just it was justified, and they were to be the recipients of the first one. He didn't want anyone else named on it, including his own. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you and the SCLC, and there is a pretty hearty group of pastors who have stood steadily by the Ridley Thomas family, and former council member, former uh, senator, former supervisor Mark Ridley Thomas, Dr. Mark Ridley Thomas. Um, Talk to me about why. I mean, some folks would have said, "Okay, we'll ride until there's a conviction, or we'll ride until there is an indictment."
Yeah, because he has his I want to say his work, his body of work for the community over 35 years, 40 years, has determined that you have to, because it's just the credential is out there that he has done all he can for others. From working, recently in his last couple of years over homelessness, the body of work of supporting organizations and people, and embodying and building, and the types of things of organizing, that he has done, and it's just the empowerment groups and all of that. There is just so much faithfulness that he has shown to the community. You have to reciprocate. You have to say, no, I'm with him. I know what he has done. I know where his heart has been. I know where his thought process has been. And so you're just not going to let him be bamboozled, and you're not going to let him be hoodwinked by a judicial system. And so that's one of the reasons why I really have been in it, just all the way in it. And Dr. Lawson has been faithfully by the side, the early days, the early movements we have had, and all of the types of rallies that we have had. Dr. Lawson has been there. He got sick at one of them, when we were in front of the city, in City Hall, when we would stand out there, when the council people would drive in. He got sick, but he still, was the trooper. He still was the warrior for justice. And standing there.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that we won't allow his legacy to be erased. I mean, that's a concern, and I'm sure you'll be all over it. But when we come forward, I want to talk about, and I'm sure you'll be able to help us out, an update. I know that Mark Ridley Thomas has a new legal team, that he is out pending appeal, and that there is an appeal on the horizon. If you've got any more for us as far as updates on that, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how folks can go to the gala, what else is happening there, and check in on some of these election issues. Not sure, Pastor Smart, if you've given any endorsements yet, but it certainly is a full blast election season. And even though it's early in the year, it's time for us to wake up and smell the ballots. So we'll hopefully we'll get into that a little bit as well. I invite you one and all to join, to conversate with us, as we say around here, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. We are unapologetically progressive, unapologetically black. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I have a dream.
On Friday, January 12th, as we head into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. annual holiday weekend, KBLA Talk 1580 will announce a historic climate justice campaign aimed at California communities of color. KBLA Talk 1580 is joined in this historic effort by both public and private partners, including LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Cal and Dow, the Sierra Club, and many other partners. There's a clear connection between Dr. King's moral conscience on the notion of reverence for all human life and the future of our world house. This year, on the MLK holiday weekend, KBLA assigns itself the task of elevating the climate conversation by amplifying the voices of those who are most impacted by the climate catastrophes we are witnessing in real time. Stay tuned for more details. At KBLA Talk 1580, Climate is King.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Jim was at the laundromat when he heard. His ear said, "Maraca, senor," but his nose said, "Hey, freshest scent ever." Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring Gain scent beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent maracas smell amazing." You could call them scent maracas, but most noses call them Gain scent beads. Try Gain scent beads. Way fresher than detergent alone.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Getting back to me, getting back to Pastor William Smart, and of course you, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Pastor Smart, you are very much in the mold of the activist pastor, what scholars refer to as liberation theology. You are an activist as well as the leader of your flock. Tell folks how to connect if they want to go to the gala, if they want to volunteer or get involved with SCLC, or if they want to come hear you preach.
Well, they can, first of all, the gala, they can come, go online and buy a ticket, and, just SCLC-SC.org, and you can buy a ticket or buy a table. We got a couple of more tables. I'm going to be on the phone in just a little while selling the rest of our tables. We also on Thursday we will be at the Holman Church, where we will be for our prayer breakfast, our annual prayer breakfast, and we have some outstanding leaders from the Muslim, the Hindu, and the Catholic Christian communities speaking, and then we have the lead honoree, Kenneth Walden, the pastor of Holman United Methodist Church, will be recognized and honored at that time for the work that he has done in his short time here in the city. It's exciting. It's something we always do. That is this coming Thursday, and Saturday. We have the Empowerment Congress going on, and then that afternoon we have out at the Skirball Center. We have the with ICO, the Inner City Youth Orchestra, a group that we are very close with, and our colleague. They will be in concert at the Skirball Center that evening, and it's free. All you have to do is just go. You can go on our website, or you can go on the Skirball or ICOLA, and get the information for that. And then in the gala, like I said, you can go on our website and get that. And we usually it has kind of evolved into. The following week we will have the fourth annual King Chavez Soul Food Luncheon, and that's we're excited about that. Also, the work we have with Clue and SCLC working together. And
is that something folks can attend, that anyone in the public can go to also?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll probably go on the Clue website, or?
Yeah, Clue website, and you can get it there. That's Clue, CLUE, their website. You can get the information there. It's the Black-Brown Coalition that we were one of the founding partners of almost 15 years ago, I think. And, these are the types of things that we've built a lot of coalitions as we focus on our work that we have deemed necessary also. To come to be a part of our congregation, you can just, I said call me at 213-268-3082. That's a number that receives a lot of messages on different things, and I go through them. And, I could tell you about how to become a part of our congregation. You can leave for any activity with SCLC. We now have a website. You can leave a message on there, and we have people that are monitoring that, and, to just allow you to become a part, to join, to become a member. We need more members. And this is our biggest event, but coming the second Saturday in April, we're going to have a 95th birthday celebration. While the 15th is his birthday celebration, we're going to have a celebration, a 95th birthday celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King, and it's going to be huge. And that's all I can say at this time. But KBLA, of course, will be the first place that when it's time to get out, that you will be notified first, just like we did about our honorees. And Sister DiPrima, let me talk about the other honorees also?
Absolutely, yeah.
First of all, our Rosa Parks Humanitarian Award is going to Dr. Shirley Weber, our Secretary of State, for all of the bountiful things and the leadership and that she has shown all of her life from a professor on up, but also how she's dealing with issues now in a honorable way. So she's getting the Rosa Parks Humanitarian Award. Attorney Do Kim, who is the president of the KBLA Center of Leadership, is getting our Drum Major for Justice Award. He is the first, just because he's the first Asian American to get this award, and Do Kim has been a part of our workings for the last 12 years, and he's just outstanding. Brother Ayuku Babu, that we all know, is the executive director of the Pan-African Film Festival. He's the first recipient of the SCLC Cassini Award, which is creative and the creative and African Kiswahili, and that's the award. It's the first annual and Cassini Award, and we're honored to have him. Dr. John Griffith, who is the PhD and CEO of Kedron Community Health Center, he'll be getting a special award, the Community Justice Award, along with Dr. Abraham, who is the program director of vaccinations at Kedron. We're honoring Kedron for their work. Dr. Griffith, as he retires after 25 years there, and Dr. Abraham, who, Dr. Abraham was the lead basically in the county as that pandemic was affecting African Americans and others, but he was making sure that we and organizations was getting that vaccine. And then, so those are the other ones. Like I said, Dr. Mark and Avis Ridley Thomas is getting the first annual James M. and Dorothy Lawson Transformative.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like an amazing lineup of awardees. What can you tell me, Pastor Smart, in terms of, by way of update around Mark Ridley Thomas's legal battle, his appeal, and where we are right now?
Well, we go back to court with him on the 25th. That's when, I don't know if that has changed yet, but January 25th is the next thing when his team will present the appeal information, and we're just waiting on that time. That's the next step.
Okay, so the new team is in place. The appeal is moving forward. I remember hearing that reading that part of the deal with keeping MRT out on bail during appeal was that the judge required that things be moved speedily, which is interesting to me because being out on appeal is not unusual. But so we expect things to move along pretty rapidly, and I don't know, but I've been hearing great things about this new legal team, and that the big question may be raising the funds to pay these folks. Right.
And that is something that the community can assist on, and there's ways on the website and other things. I think there's a website up I forgot the name of that, but you can find that out and assist. I think people are really supportive of him during this process. And it all has, one of the reasons is because of, regardless of what you may think, what he has done before this and during this, and what he's also doing after this shows that you have, like I said, you have a process, you have a man and a woman who has the wherewithal and they have the spirit to really fight for others. And so it's time to fight for them. Sister Dominique, the most interesting thing, when someone said, why are you, it's over and all of this. You know what? I went to college in Miles College in Birmingham, Alabama. I was there at a time when a guy named George Wallace went through his so-called transformation, running for governor again, when he said, I was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. And, black folks voted for him.
Okay, hold that thought, Pastor. We got a hard stop here for news, traffic, and sports, but we will continue this fascinating conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former President Trump is expected to appear in 2 different courtrooms this week over efforts to overturn the 2020 election and his civil fraud case. He's made plans to attend a hearing Tuesday in a Washington, D.C. federal appeals court where the judges are deciding if Trump has presidential immunity when it comes to any actions taken regarding the election. Then on Thursday, he'll be in New York City for closing arguments in the fraud case. The Young Slime Life gang trial is resuming in Fulton County, Georgia today. African-American rapper Young Thug and 5 other defendants are in court facing multiple charges in the racketeering case. Prosecutors expect the trial could last a few more months. One of the founding members of the gang took the stand for 2 days last week. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Without question, the #1 story for NFL Wildcard Weekend is a first-round matchup between the Rams and Detroit Lions. The Rams are at Detroit next Sunday at 5 p.m. Detroit is where Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford played 12 of his 15 NFL seasons. Stafford came to the Rams in a trade 3 years ago that sent former Rams quarterback Jared Goff to Detroit. Both will be starting on Sunday against their former team. The Lakers snapped their 4-game losing streak Sunday night with a 3-point win over the Clippers. LeBron had 25 points and 7 assists. Shout out to the UCLA women's basketball team. The Bruins are 14-0 after beating Oregon State Sunday. The Bruins are ranked #2 in the country. They joined Baylor and South Carolina as the only Division I undefeated women's teams in the country. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
There's only a few days left for open enrollment, starting at $0 a month. LA Care Covered offers the benefits you need to achieve your health goals. $0 preventive services, 24/7 virtual care and nurse advice lines, walk-in minute clinics, free fitness and nutrition classes, and more. Become a member of LA's most affordable health plan. Get a free instant quote at lacarecovered.org. Have open enrollment questions? Connect with us today at 855-222-4239. Find your affordable path to wellness with LA Care Covered today.
There are many things to love about winter: cozy sweaters, celebrations, and family time. But winter can also bring many stressors: extra expenses, seasonal bugs, and so much family time. If you and your loved ones are feeling stressed or anxious this winter, Cal Hope can help. Check out our free mental health resource at calhope.org today.
Hey LA, save water and put money in your pocket with rebates from LA DWP. Start saving with free shower heads and faucet aerators. Then save with every flush when you upgrade to a water-efficient toilet and get a $250 rebate. You can also save on every load of laundry with a high-efficiency clothes washer and get a $500 rebate. That's right, LA DWP customers can get $500 rebates on qualifying clothes washers. See all the ways to save at ladwp.com/save.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
And we're talking with Pastor William Smart of the SCLC, SCLC-SC for Southern California.org. If you want to go to their 54th annual gala, it's Sunday at 6 p.m. If you want to find out more about all of the other activities that are going on around the King holiday this coming week, including, I'm assuming that Thursday you will be part of the naming or the unveiling of the special stretch of Adams Boulevard near Holman, which will be dedicated to Reverend James Lawson, Reverend James Lawson Way. He could not manage to wiggle out of that honor.
No, he couldn't. No, he couldn't, and I'm glad, because I think every time we drive down there and we see that, we need to remember him in a very special way. And yes, I'll be there.
Yeah,
and
I'll be there too, by the way.
I
I think I'm supposed to be emceeing it, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah, I'll be there, and our breakfast is that morning there, and then later on that evening we'll be there. It's a big day. It's a big day for Dr. Lawson.
I want to run a few things by you, and it is a big day for Reverend Lawson, and I feel like he is he's a national treasure, and he is here in Los Angeles changing lives and changing minds, and so we would be remiss if we did not continue to give him his flowers in a big way while we have him. Right. Reverend Lawson is 94 or 95, something like that, and still going strong. But I wanted to take a moment, since you're honoring Avis Ridley Thomas, to just talk about her, because people think, well, she's the great Mark Ridley Thomas's wife, but she is a very accomplished woman in her own right, and I'm quite sure, as most wives and committed partners, is a big part of his success as well. But also mother of 2, executive director of the Days of Dialogue, co-director of the Institute for Nonviolence, and has had quite an impactful career in her own right.
Yes, and for 30 years, in office of the Los Angeles City Attorney, and founding director of City Attorney's Dispute Resolution Program, I remember. And so, and she taught meditation skills and continues to lecture at UCLA's Department of Chicano and Central American Studies. So, she's there. She has a resume just as standing as her husband. And so that makes them a very powerful couple together.
Yeah. One of my favorite quotes, believe it or not, is Ginger Rogers. She said she did everything Fred Astaire did, only going backwards in heels. Of course, that's an old Hollywood movie reference. But for me, because I'm a bit of a movie buff, but for me, it speaks to Avis Ridley Thomas, because you say she's got a resume just as impressive as Mark Ridley Thomas, while raising 2 kids and a couple of grandbabies, et cetera, et cetera. That's the backwards and heels part for me. It's like, not to be, not to be complaining, but sometimes as a mama, you have to do things that men do while, answering texts and taking care of, kid crises. And so big props to Mrs. Ridley Thomas. Yeah. I see you're honoring COVID. Pastor Smart, honoring Kedron, I should say, not COVID. Yes. Honoring Kedron and their work around the COVID in its most rampant phase, when it first became so scary on the world stage. Well, once again, it seems like it's an every winter thing now. We're hearing that California in particular is seeing a jump in coronavirus cases, and now we're seeing a big jump in flu, as well as this RSV, which is a respiratory virus. Experts, they analyzed the sewer water to see what levels of these viruses. Apparently, it's pretty high. We're having a spike. It's they're saying probably going to get worse before it gets better. Good news is people aren't dying at high rates like they used to. They're not getting the acute illness. But 2 things: coronavirus is nothing nice. You don't want it, nor flu, nor RSV, and there's still the risk of long COVID, where you could basically be disabled for an undetermined amount of time, possibly your whole life. So it's nothing to play with. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are serious. That a month ago I had RSV inoculation for RSV, the flu, and the recent COVID. I take it very serious, and I think
So you got all 3 shots? You got all at once?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
I could get them all at once, and I mean that next day, I was in a daze.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, okay, I don't know about taking all 3 at once, but I know people do it. That just seems like a lot of toxins in your system. But hey, you live to tell the tale, and I guess you're feeling bulletproof at this point.
Oh yes, but I want other people. But at the same time, me and my wife talked about yesterday. We were at some events yesterday, and we said we should wear our masks. So I think today I'm gonna start wearing my mask again, because it's really getting at that level. And a lot of friends. I've had some friends from out of town that were coming to our gala, and they can't because they have COVID or they've had COVID. Mm-hmm. And that's the East Coast, and it's really, really serious up there.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's just you don't want to get it. You just don't want to get it. It's just not fun. No. Regardless of what your thoughts are about the mask or the vaccine or this, where it came from or this or that, people get all, in their feelings and in their politics around coronavirus. My thing is just whatever it takes for you to avoid it. Maybe get the mask back on. I'm not going to lie, I don't wear it constantly, but I carry it. And when I find myself packed in and all of a sudden there's a ton of people, the odds that some of those folks got COVID go up. I probably pull out the mask. I was shocked when I traveled during the holidays that people didn't have masks on the planes. And to me, we're breathing recycled air for hours. That's when the mask is coming back for sure.
Yes, ma'am. You have to look out for your own health and do those things, precautionary things that are important to your own survival. And so I think at times the mask is very important, and I'm going to wear it.
Well, to me, it's telling that there was so much less flu when we had masks on. So whatever you think about COVID, folks sneezing and hacking and laughing and singing and yelling really loud, and their spit particles shooting out into the air with whatever they have in them, right? Whether it's flu or RSV or just regular old-fashioned cooties, that's got to be reduced by a mask. So, that's not a scientific analysis, but it is kind of, because it's based on the fact that the flu is back now that we've taken off our masks.
One of the things that I like also, after the period of the mask when it was decreased, I love going into restaurants and seeing people with masks and gloves on, regardless of preparing our food.
You don't want them spitting in your food?
No.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely, a germaphobe. I was long before COVID one of those people that wiped everything down, and now it's just out of control.
I remember that. That was on your radio station before COVID. I remember you have that Lysol when you come in. Yes, ma'am.
Well, yeah, they're wipes, because I don't want to breathe in the Lysol. So, but yeah, you're right. So I don't know if you follow things like the Golden Globes. I often don't. I didn't watch the whole show, but there were some highlights. Do you look at stuff like that, Pastor Smart?
No, I
honestly, no.
Look at it after.
Right, after the fact.
I haven't gotten after the fact.
Right, look at the highlights. Well, there was a couple notable things. For one thing, Lily Gladstone became the first Indigenous First Nations person to win Best Actress in a Motion Picture, actually to win a Golden Globe at all. And wow. She said this is for every little res kid, meaning kids growing up on the reservations. She spoke in the Blackfeet language. It was definitely, an important moment. And it's interesting. I haven't seen the film. I'm sure she deserves the award. She's a very accomplished actor. It's interesting to me, though, because the Golden Globes, they're trying to play it off like it went away because of the strikes or COVID. But reality is it went away because they were proven to be racist, insular,
right.
And
right.
corrupt, right? And so it's interesting to me, the first Indigenous actress and now the first Asian actress to get Best Actress win this year. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. Ali Wong, I've watched Beef. She won for that. She made history, and she's actually really great in that. But the point is, it's almost like they had to. They went and got Joe Coy, a Filipino American, to be the host. I didn't see a lot of nods to blackness, but a couple of prominent black winners. So I feel like they know they're in the hot seat still.
Oh yeah. I saw the build up to that a couple of years ago of it being. They said it was a racist organization, and
they had no black journalists. It says it's the Foreign Journalists Awards, but they had no black journalists. All of Africa, you couldn't find one person. All of Europe, they had no black people on those panels, and then come to find out they were finding ways to exclude black people from it. They were pay to play. They were, and they were being abusive and horrible to the actors and groping people, all kinds of stuff going on. So they know they got to come correct, and I feel like that's a good reason to put the pressure on, keep the pressure on.
Yes. Well, we have, it's not really known right now, but we do have a Hollywood Bureau of SCLC, and it's headed by Anna Marie Johnson, and we're just beginning to build, because one of the first things we want to do a project this October is we want to encourage more under-the-line individuals to get involved in Hollywood, to get involved and allow them to have the credentials. I'm talking about under-the-line, like barbers and hairdressers,
right?
And grip cookers, having them to get involved. And so we're going to be meeting with various labor unions about this, their programs, and moving towards this project. And then October, we're going to be honoring some of those who have been the staples of that in those positions for so long, but as a way that we can grow African Americans under the line. But while that was our initial focus, but with what has come out recently by Taraji, I mean, we're going to have to look at, like, what we talked with some other people about what can we do for African-American women.
Yeah, you know what? Hold that thought, Pastor, because I want to dive a little bit deeper into that since you brought it up. Taraji did it in a way that got people's attention, just like Cat Williams got everybody's attention last week. And some of the things Taraji P. Henson was talking about have been brought up by many actors and actresses, including most notably Monique, for a long time. So yes, let's have that conversation when we come forward exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
There are many things to love about winter. Cozy sweaters, celebrations, and family time. But winter can also bring many stressors. Extra expenses, seasonal bugs, and so much family time. If you and your loved ones are feeling stressed or anxious this winter, CalHope can help. Check out our free mental health resource at calhope.org today.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Do you have both Medi-Cal and Medicare?
If so, the new LA Care plan called Medicare Plus can help you get the most out of your health plan for $0.
LA Care provides personalized service to Angelinos like us.
Plus, it gives us access to doctors and specialists across Los Angeles County.
For zero cost, we get access to full benefits.
From vision coverage,
in-home support services,
to prescription drug coverage,
and a quarterly over-the-counter allowance.
Plus personal equipment,
meal programs,
a gym membership,
and so much more.
For more than 25 years,
LA Care has provided Angelinos with access to quality health care at an affordable cost.
For our families,
our seniors,
our community,
it's a plus.
It's a plus
for all of us.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the exclusive media sponsor of this light of ours, activist photographers of the Civil Rights Movement. A dynamic new exhibition on view now at the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles. This light of ours showcases more than 150 photos taken by movement insiders from diverse backgrounds that reveal the vital work undertaken by a broad coalition of organizers and everyday people whose collective action changed America. This light of ours is one of 3 temporary exhibitions currently on view at the Skirball, which together explore issues related to civil rights, immigration, and pluralism. Tickets and more information for all 3 exhibitions are available at skirball.org. That's skirball.org. SKIRBALL.org.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? We didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA KBLA Talk 1580.
Pastor William Smart of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference of Southern California is my guest this morning. It is King Week, pre-week, King Week Eve, and we got a lot of activities starting already, along with the unveiling of Reverend James Lawson Way on Thursday. That's going to happen at 3 o'clock. That's following your interfaith prayer breakfast, and you've got so many things going on. The 54th Annual Gala on Sunday at 6. And, of course, the Empowerment Congress, which is going to be, I believe, hosted by our own Tavis Smiley. Got a lot going on. SCLC-SC.org, or you can call and leave a message at 213-268-3082, 213-268-3082. Pastor Smart, you brought up this whole controversy about pay equity, which is really flared up under the comments of Taraji P. Henson. But this is what Monique was talking about. This is what actor Isaiah Washington has continuously talked about. This is, we've heard this. We've heard it from black men, but we've heard it more consistently. Viola Davis speaks on it a lot on her Instagram about how she's just not paid the same. And, people were clowning Taraji over the weekend because she was saying that they were given rental cars for the color purple to drive themselves to the set, and she shouldn't have to drive herself to work. They thought that sounded diva-ish. But what they don't understand is that there are standard practices within the film industry, and that's not one of them. So if you, as a black actor or actress, woman actor, are asked to do things that are considered substandard for the industry, that's a problem. If you don't have dressing rooms when you get to the set, if there's no craft services, i.e. snacks, if you're getting paid less than other people by a lot, that is a problem. It's not that she was being difficult or being a diva or, well, I have to drive myself to work. Well, you're not a movie actor, and that's just not that's not the standard within the industry.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have any in this gala, but we have had actors and actresses that we have picked them up and dropped them off. And brought them to the gala and then sent them back home in car service. That's something that, I'm talking about African Americans, that's something because of insurance and all of that that's involved in that. That's really important. And so here's our thing, and this is as a civil rights activist, this is what I say. If it's good for one person, if one person gets it, everyone ought to get it. If it's done under those circumstances, if white actors get it, black actors have to get it. That's it. That's what we fight for. We fight for equity. We fight for availability for black people and brown people and tan people. And
people. It's interesting to me that this is bubbling up right at the same time that we're seeing these huge attacks on diversity, equity, and inclusion. What happened with Claudine Gay has let this horrible, ugly, anti-DEI genie out of the bottle. Elon Musk was already talking about getting rid of it. And so I think it's important that we, even though I understand people saying, well, she should have got a better manager, she should have negotiated harder. All that is true. But at the same time, the industry-wide practice is that even Academy Award winners like Monique and Viola Davis are not getting paid and not getting treated in the same manner that their corresponding level of star who's not black gets.
Yes. And and I would say that's a civil rights violation because as the equal, that they have to be compensated the same way those who are on their same level are compensated. That's it. And that's a civil rights violation. That's something you have given us something to look at and work with through our bureau for the next couple of months. Yes.
I wonder if that could be a class action suit because, it's so prevalent and you could Monique won her battle with Netflix and she had, got her special, got her money, but she was willing to walk away and a lot of people either aren't willing to or can't afford to. And why should we have to? We went through a strike, but it's like every day is a strike for a black woman in Hollywood.
Yes. Yes, and this is a fight I want to engage in because it's the same. Just like we fight for workers, we fight for sanitation workers. We want to fight for those who are not getting their who are not being properly recompensed.
Yeah. I mean, it's very difficult to get into that position in the first place. There are so few of us. You talk about building generational wealth or being robbed of potential wealth. I think that is a great fight to take up. Got a minute left here. Pastor William Smart, what do you want to leave us with this morning?
I want to leave you with to come support us. We have it's usually King Month. We usually have a founders program, and then we do have some other things happening, some feeding going on, and some comedy. You'll hear more about that as it progresses. But right now, this week, we want you to participate in our prayer breakfast. We want you to participate in the orchestra and the gala and the Black Brown soul food luncheon, and those 4, but there'll be more. And be with us Thursday afternoon for the Jim Lawson street dedication too. Thank you.
You got a lot going on, and there's a lot of snacks in that, which I love. Let's break bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. God bless. Thank you for having me on. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former to attend a hearing Tuesday in a